Good morning, councillors, residents and council staff. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land of which we gather today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, traditions, culture and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples across this great nation. I extend my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and community. I acknowledge their history of wisdom, resilience and survival, and respectfully thank them for their contribution to the life of the city and this region. So welcome to the Ordinary Council meeting 23rd of August 2023. Due to an earlier adjournment, I now propose to recommence the meeting and declare that the adjournment ends at 10:47 a.m. I'd like to advise immediate attendees that this meeting is being webcast and audio recorded. So can the gallery please be outstanding if you're able to join me in a moment of contemplation. In the midst of the city's unprecedented growth, a familiar question echoes through the corridors of time. What do you want to do when you grow up? As our people look to call the City of Logan home, we as a council and a city need to consider, what do we want to become? When it comes to planning a successful, sustainable and safe future for our community, ignorance is not a bliss. Robust information is critical to good decision making because the more we know, the more effective our choices will be. Our city, once in its youth, now stands as a testament to progress and potential, and as the population swells and new faces make their homes within the City of Logan, we are navigating the path towards a well-planned, interconnected and appealing urban landscape. One that promises a rich tapestry of lifestyles, investment prospects and employment avenues for all. In pursuit of this vision, the unveiling of our Logan Plan 2025 signifies a turning point. With the Queensland Government mandate to update our planning schemes every decade, this presents an exciting opportunity to reimagine our city's future. The plan offers concepts blueprint on how life in our city could look as we grow. It will offer ways to boost housing diversity and affordability, as well as the enhancement of our nighttime economy. Council has continually embraced the surging growth of our city, consistently meeting and often surpassing the housing targets set by the Queensland Government. However, we shoulder a weighty responsibility towards our existing residents and stakeholders to responsibly manage our finite resources. As a council, we are consistently balancing our ability to provide the necessary infrastructure for both newcomers and establishment members of our community. The City of Logan is being asked to create housing, jobs and quality lifestyle for 300 additional residents, bringing our 2046 population to 662,000 people. Our Logan Plan 2025 will set the course for well-managed growth and will ensure it continues to grow to benefit everyone. Thank you. Sorry, councillors, we have a leave of absence for Councillor Fraser due to personal reasons. Is there a mover for the motion now displayed on the screen? Councillor Hall has moved the motion. I have a seconder. Councillor Wilcox has seconded the motion. I now put the matter to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That has been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. I'll now refer to condolences. Do any councillors have a condolence to raise? I'll start at Councillor Bradley and work through. Councillor Lane, Councillor Kransky.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, it's with a heavy heart that I advise of the very sad passing of John Stephens. John passed away yesterday on the 22nd of August at the age of 67. John was a well-known figure in the Beenleigh area, owning and operating Beenleigh Dental from its establishment in 1984 until he retired in June of last year. John and Fee had planned to travel Australia upon their retirement. However, sadly, John was diagnosed with leukaemia in November of last year, and he passed away due to complications. John and Fee were unable to take their dream trip around Australia, but they did manage to sail up and down the Queensland coast last year prior to John's diagnosis. He leaves behind 2 sons, his partner Fee, and their extended families, and he also leaves behind a practice full of employees who had the great pleasure of working with John for a number of years. He'll be very sadly missed, and his life was just taken too soon. It'd be appreciated, Mr Mayor, if you could please pass on our sympathies.
Thank you, Councillor Kerensky. Councillor Hall. Councillor Hermeyer, Stem, Wilcox, Murphy. I have one. I was made aware on the weekend the passing of Dave Robinson, who was a former contractor to this council. And I believe his company may still be contracted with the council as mayor. I'm not aware of those situations anymore, but he was part of this council and a very colourful character, a resident of Shayla Park for many, many years, worked with many projects within my old former division, and he was great to work with and made things happen for the councillors. And I know that a lot of the councillors that have served here previously would have been obviously very sad of his passing. So I just want to acknowledge that, and we'll send something out. Okay, so we'll now observe a moment of reflection in honour of those who have been gone before us and in support of those who have been left behind. Thank you, councillors. I now open the floor for congratulation requests. Do any councillors have a congratulations to raise? Councillor Lane.
Thanks very much, Mr Mayor. I've got 4 today. The first is World of Cultures event held on the 12th of August at the Kingston Butter Factory. SSI and the multicultural teams from around the community put on a fantastic display of what Logan really means and what it means to be a part of Logan, the dance, the food, the richness that we actually have now in our community as a result of so many people coming from different homelands. So Josh, Kenny, Lorm and the SSI team, congratulations on a fantastic event. Groves Christian College community fair happened on the 5th of August. Groves actually takes students from around Logan, and they put on a wonderful display of what it means to be a Groves member of the community. They had wonderful rides, activities. A lot of the stuff was free, so they actually looked at the ability of the community to pay, and they subsidised a fair whack of it. The Blast Awards for the Brisbane Legends Badminton Club, funny they're called Brisbane because they actually play in Woodridge, on the 29th of July. Sambit Das ran that event, and it was a wonderful way of actually showcasing how great community sport is in our area. And lastly, Simply Beans took out 2 awards at the Logan Chamber of Commerce Business Distinction Awards. Simply Beans is located in Division 2, and Joe and the team do an amazing job. So thanks, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Kerensky.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I have 2 today. First of all, I'd love to see congratulations go out to Mick Beattie and his awesome team for the Primary School Touch Footy Gala Day that they held earlier this month. The Yarrabilba State Secondary College Blue Tongues Touch Footy Academy had their 4th event, and they attracted 50 teams from 19 schools across Logan, which I think is not bad. They also brought teams as far as Brisbane, Gold Coast, Scenic Rim and Bayside, and they gathered at McKinnon Ovals for an exciting day of games and competition. They had 568 students from Year 5 and Year 6, as well as the Yarrabilba State Secondary College's Touch Academy. So it was really great to see this event now in its 4th year doing so very, very well. So congratulations to them. Now, secondly, I would like that congratulations be forwarded to, and I'm going to name the graduates, to Tommy, Jara, Takira, Jaden, Kane, Connor, Xavier, Luke and Quay on graduating from the Intent for Change program at Woodstock, which was held on the 10th of August. Why I wanted to read those young men their names out is because this is the first graduation that these young gentlemen would have actually been part of. And they have been involved with the Youth Enterprise Trust out at Woodstock, and they've been rolling up their sleeves and getting a lot of programming done out there. But the really significant part is the pride that these young men showed. They turned up looking their absolute best in suits that had been supplied for them on the day, and this was their graduation ceremony. 9 students in all took on the Intent Challenge program, and these were students who were regarded as disengaged from across the city. So I was really excited to hear their stories, their journey and their aspirations for the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing more YET programs coming out of Woodstock. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kerensky. Councillor Hall, Councillor Hermite, Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like my congratulations passed on to Melissa and Luke O'Sullivan on the birth of their son, Tyvian Rex O'Sullivan, on the 17th of August at 7:04 p.m. He's the little brother of Zane, Vaden and Zyla, and hopefully I said that right, Mel. I'm sorry if I did not. Mel is a very much loved addition to the Greenbank Raiders football family, and Tavian has already made a couple of appearances at the field, and he's very much loved by all. So congratulations to the family, and I can't wait to meet Tavian and have a bit of a cuddle at the fields. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I have 2 today. On Friday the 11th of August, we celebrated the inaugural graduations of the Jindy Security course at Beenleigh Housing and Development Company. This course has been a project over 7 years in the making and couldn't have happened without the persistence and fierce advocacy of Uncle Pete. Councillor, this is a community-led project and it is delivering amazing results. The 5 individuals who participated in the course now have received their qualifications to go out in the world and get a job in security, making our community a safer place. On behalf of Logan City Council, I wish to acknowledge Sienna Hopkins, William Cleaves, Kai Cosby, Brett McDonald and Jason Meredith on the graduation. And since writing this speech, Mr Mayor, I understand that all 5 have now secured full-time work in security, which is a great outcome for that course. And secondly, councillors, I'm sure we all have fond memories of our own high school time. And on the weekend, Trinity College Beenleigh class of 2003 relived those memories at their 20th anniversary. They're celebrated at the local Mexican restaurant Ciano's and George Street, Beenleigh. And I wanted to thank Christy Miles, who organised the event and worked to get the numbers, the raffles, and making sure that everybody had a wonderful time. I did receive a wonderful little video, Facebook video from the group, and there were smiles all around. So if we can pass congratulations on to those 2 groups. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
No worries, good work. Thanks, Councillor Murphy. Councillors, I now refer to the minutes of the previous ordinary council meeting. I move that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 26th of July 2023 be confirmed. Is there a seconder? Councillor Bradley has seconded the motion. Does anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now for the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. I now refer to the declarations of conflicts of interest. Do any councillors wish to declare any new conflicts of interest against any items on today's agenda, including any conflicts which subsequently arisen from matters discussed at committee? None being so, I now refer to the next item on the agenda, which is business arising. We have no business arising from the minutes to consider. We'll go straight into the committees. I now refer to the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee held on the 15th of August 2023. I now ask the Chair, Councillor Raven, to now proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been a big 3 years in the Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee, but especially in the City Planning section. This week in committee, Mr. Mayor, councillors endorsed the draft of the Logan Plan 2025 to be sent to the state government for consideration and feedback. This has been a 3-year mission, and I want to thank all the councillors in this room who have contributed to that process. We're not done yet. We've come a long way, but there's still a long way to go with community consultation happening next year once we get the green light from the state government. And there's been a lot of work, not just in this room, but people who aren't here today. So I want to thank David Radich, Christian, Sharon, Cheryl, Shay, and everyone from the project board team and everyone in the city planning team that has done so much hard work. I know you, Mr. Mayor, went down to Adelaide. You found a new product that we're excited to see roll out in the city with the terrace housing. And I think that'll be amazing for making sure that we can hit our density targets. And the 4 things, people say to me, what does a new planning scheme mean? And it boils down to 4 major ideas that the councillors were very enthusiastic about. One is increased density near public transport and our centres, and so that we can protect the suburban backyards of the bulk of the city. Sequential growth in emerging communities to make sure that we roll the development out in ways that make sense to the community and that we can manage from an infrastructure point of view. Ensuring that we've got adequate employment land so the people who are moving to our city will have jobs and places to work and don't need to leave the city every day. And of course, design. Design was really important. In fact, this council went back to the staff and said, you haven't gone hard enough. We want better design. We want attractive suburbs that create pride. They have high quality built form and are functional and encourage pedestrians and accessibility from a variety of materials so we don't just see the same product rolled out on every street. So this is really exciting, Mr. Mayor. This is the work that our community elects us to do. I can't wait to see the feedback from the state government, and hopefully we'll be able to go to community consultation in around May or June 2024. That's all the comments I've got on committee this round, Mr. Mayor. I open the floor to my colleagues.
Thank you, Councillor Raven. Do any other councillors wish to speak? Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This morning, as councillors, we are endorsing the Logan Plan 25. And as great as it is for the City of Logan, and whilst I agree in principle with the majority of the Logan Plan 25, I will continue to advocate for the needs of the Division 11 residents because most of this plan doesn't and won't resonate with the residents. People are moving to the opportunities that present itself in the PDA. Access to cheaper housing options and smaller block options that keep the dream affordable and available. Yet by the same hand, the PDA and the surrounding areas are struggling without improved infrastructure and services that go with the community. What most residents don't realise is a large extent of our division is located outside of the urban footprint as per state legislation, and the majority of the areas within the urban footprint are priority development areas which are under state jurisdiction. Residents get their rates bill from Logan City Council and they think council is responsible for all of the approvals, all of the infrastructure and all of the issues due to the lack of the improved infrastructure to supporting our developing area. When community consultation begins next year, I urge the residents to please have your say by asking questions and providing feedback as I have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Any other councillors? No, I'd just like to highlight one thing that I spoke about, the new housing alternative at Councillor Heremeyer's forum, community forum. And when I spoke about the fact that we're looking at a product that won't have body corporate, there was intense interest in that product because they recognise that that's one thing that's stopping them from going into units because they don't want that continuing bill issue. So I think we're on a winner there, and obviously I think the planning scheme is great. So what we might do is now, Councillor Raven, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And you are right, body corporate fees are just another cost of living pressure, and some of them are reasonable, but I was speaking to someone yesterday whose body corporate fees per quarter are higher than their rates and water bill combined, which just shows you, and that's in Waterford West, that's in Division 5, and so that shows you the additional burden that places, and they often struggle to see the benefit they get from that money and how it's spent. Mr Mayor, thank you very much for everyone's comments, and I agree with Councillor Wilcox's advice to residents. Plea to residents, please provide feedback when this goes to public consultation. This consultation is meaningful. The only way council can amend this planning scheme now is through that consultation process. So it's very important that residents take the next 9 months to read and understand what's going on in that draft planning scheme and provide us feedback, because we can use that to make it even better. Mr Mayor, I now move that 1, the minutes of the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting held on the 15th of August 2023 be confirmed, and that the recommendations of the City Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting of August 15, 2023 be adopted.
Thank you. Councillor Raven has moved the motion. I now look for a seconder. Councillor Wilcox, the second of the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? I'll now put it to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. Therefore, the motion has been carried. Is there any other agenda items on that committee that anyone wishes to record their name against? No? Okay, we'll keep moving. Thank you. We'll now go to City Infrastructure. I now refer to the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on the 15th of August 2023. Councillor Lane, Chairperson of the City Infrastructure Committee, you may proceed.
You keep saying it like it's not mighty, Mr Mayor, and I'll keep on until you do. There are no recommendations of the City Infrastructure Committee because there were no reports to present. But that being said, the Director detailed the significant works that are going on throughout all of the divisions in the city, and there was a number of general business items. I'll open the floor, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Any other councillors wish to speak? No, I wouldn't imagine so. Councillor Lane.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that the minutes of the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on the 15th of August 2023 be confirmed, and that the recommendations of the City Infrastructure Committee meeting held on 15 August 2023 be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bradley, a second of the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. Thank you. That has been carried unanimously. I won't be asking whether anyone wishes to record their name against any for obvious reasons. Okay, we'll keep moving. Now refer to the City Lifestyle Committee held on the 17th of August 2023. Councillor Hall, Chairperson of the City Lifestyle Committee, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. At the City Lifestyle Committee last week, councillors were presented with the Logan City Council Arts, Culture and Heritage Plan for 2023 to 2027. This plan signifies the dedication to capitalising on their exponential opportunities for the City of Logan, while the arts, culture and heritage community continue to reimagine, rebuild following the lasting effects of the global pandemic. The plan serves as a foundation for Council in collaboration with the community to promote the sustainable growth of Logan's creative industries. Councillors also considered the options for a roof replacement and facility upgrade for the Middle Green Park Sports Club. In a thorough and lengthy discussion, councillors sought to determine the scope of the works at the Middle Green Sports Club building and considered the investigations undertaken relating to potential upgrades to meet current standards. It was evident from the discussion that our council is passionate about the standards of community and sporting clubs within the city. We are looking forward to seeing great outcomes for the Middle Green Sports Club, as well as other facilities throughout the city as officers undertake further investigations into uplifting requirements. In general business, our community development team provided an exciting update about welcoming cities. In 2023, Council endorsed the City of Logan joining the Welcoming Cities Network. We are very proud to announce that Logan City Council is the first council in Queensland to be accredited, and we have achieved the advanced level. An advanced welcoming city is one celebrating success in initiatives and policies that foster economic, social and cultural inclusion. We also heard about the success of the Stories from the Kitchen program. The purpose of this program was to increase social connection and inclusion and provide opportunities for communities to build trust. 8 community centres and Woodridge State High School all hosted a dinner, with the final celebration taking place at the Kingston Butter Factory. Finally, our Parks team provided an update on works being undertaken in the fire management space in preparedness for bushfire season.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Do any other councillors wish to discuss any other matter? Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Thank you so much. The Middle Green roof was damaged back in the Halloween storm of 2020. So to finally have an outcome to complete the work that will also incorporate the works of the toilets is fantastic for the community. As you may remember, an e-petition was presented to Council regarding the facilities in Middle Green back in December 2021, where 58 valid signatures were provided and 117 signatures were invalid, probably due to the new Council e-petition that was sent up and people not realising they actually needed to confirm it. However, this petition provided a point of view from someone who was not able to access the venue anymore with her friend. The current building is not user-friendly for disabled people or for those with mobility issues, so I really look forward to once the works are complete and patrons who have not been able to attend the venue can once again come to the venue with their families and friends and enjoy the venue. I would like to thank the officers who put together a comprehensive report to outline some alternatives for this building, and I want to thank the councillors for their support for the most sensible outcome for Middle Green to not only rectify the roof, but to also rectify the building and to address the concerns of the toilets and the disability access. I really do look forward to opening the new toilet facilities for the venue and to welcome people who, just like my mum, can't actually get there at the moment and can't use the facility. My mum needs assistance from either carers or myself to get her around in her wheelchair, so I really look forward to the day when I can actually take her in there and enjoy lunch with her back at Middle Green. Thank you, councillors.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Any other councillors? No other councillors? Councillor Hall.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that the minutes of the City Lifestyle Committee meeting held on the 17th of August 2023 be confirmed, and that the recommendations of the City Lifestyle Committee meeting held on the 17th of August 2023 be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Hall. Councillor Hall's moved the motion. I'm looking for a seconder. Councillor Wilcox has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now put the matter to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. I now ask councillors to, if they wish to record their name against any of the items in that report. None being so, I'll keep moving. I now refer to the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 17th of August 2023. And I would like to hand over to Councillor Murphy, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. We've got a busy report, so please bear with us. I would like to note that item 5.4, the Local Infrastructure Program, August 2023 of the City Governance Committee meeting, will be addressed in today's agenda, separate from the bulk adoptions of the recommendations due to an additional project which has since been received. I'd also like to note that item 5.10 will also be deferred to today's meeting and in the council reports later today. I'd also like to speak to the recommendations. Mr Mayor, we had another busy round for governance with 10 reports being tabled, and I would like to speak to some of those items. 5.2 is the council expenses due to the 30th of June 2023. This is a quarterly acquittal report outlining expenses incurred by the Mayor and the councillors to their areas. The Mayor and councillors have saved over $133,000 in costs in that financial year, and those funds will go back into general reserve. So I'd just like to highlight that to the community, that our local councillors are still doing their job, saving money and putting that money back into general reserves to go to other projects. Item 5.3 was the policy amendment in August 2023. Mr Mayor, we live in a world where we see changes of social media, and today Council will adopt the new social media policy amendments. This will provide clarity to the councillors, the organisation and the public with regards to social media, and I welcome this adoption. Item 5.4 was the monthly report of the local infrastructure reports, and a total of 14 projects have been approved today in today's adoptions. Updates to the Beanley Entertainment Centre, installations of CTV cameras, footpaths, upgrade to men's sheds, and again our councillors are out there working hard for their communities. This is a monthly report that we bring back to council so our community can see what our councillors are doing for their area. Mr Mayor, I'll hand it back to you now.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Any other councillors wish to discuss any of the business? No, I'll hand it back to you, Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I now move that number 1, that the minutes of the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 17th of August 2023 be confirmed, and number 2, that the recommendations of the City Governance Committee held on the 17th of August 2023 be adopted with the exception of 5.4. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy has moved the motion. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Raven has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now put the matter on the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise their hands. That has been carried unanimously. Is there any councillor wish to record their name against any of those items in that report? Councillor Wilcox.
I was against 7.3.
Okay, that will be recorded. Any others? No. Okay, I hand it back to you, Councillor Murphy. Okay. In relation to item 5.4, Local Infrastructure Program, August 2023, I will now ask Councillor Murphy, Chairperson of the City Governance Committee, to speak to the matter. Before Councillor Murphy joins the discussion, we will need to pass a motion to table the amended attachment 1, which has been circulated to councillors on Friday the 18th. The motion is now displayed up on the screen as this is a procedural motion. We only require a mover to move the motion. I will move the motion. I now open the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously, therefore the motion has been carried. Councillor Murphy, Chairperson of the City Governance Committee, you may proceed now.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Since committee last week, Councillor Stem has received a request for a project that relates to the National Threatened Species Day on the 7th of September 2023. The signed LIP, Local Infrastructure Program form, was received on Friday the 18th of August and as such missed the City Governance Committee that was held on the 17th of August. Due to the urgent nature of this request, we would like to propose an amendment to the recommendations of the City Governance meeting on the 17th of August 2023 to include that LIP project in addition to the project that was tabled at the City Governance Committee.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. The motion is now displayed on the screen. Is there a mover for the motion? Councillor Murphy has moved the motion. Do we have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Lane has seconded the motion. Anyone wish to speak to the motion? No. I now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously, therefore the motion has been carried. Okay, we go now to council reports. We have one confidential council report to consider, being item 5.10 of the City Governance Committee meeting held on the 17th of August 2023, which was deferred to Ordinary Council to allow for additional information to be provided to councillors by the Interim Director, CoLab Development. That additional information has now been provided. I note that this is a confidential report. A proposed resolution to move this matter into a closed session is displayed on the screen. Do any councillors wish to move this matter into closed session for the item? Councillor Karansky has moved the motion. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Bradley has seconded. I now put that matter to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried unanimously. So therefore we are now in closed session. has recommenced. Councillors, a motion is now displayed on the screen. Is there a mover for the motion? As a mover for the motion, I'll give you a couple of seconds to read it. I know people are still looking at the screen. Okay. I have a mover. I have Councillor Bannon moving the motion. Do I have a seconder to the motion? Please raise your hands. Councillor Raven has seconded the motion. I now put it to the floor to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands. That has been carried except for, and I'll ask those to record their vote. Councillor Bradley.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I was happy to make a decision today rather than defer, so that's why I'm going to vote against.
Councillor Lane, how did you vote?
I too was happy to make a decision today, Mr Mayor, but unfortunately we didn't get there, so I'm happy to defer.
Councillor Russell.
For.
Councillor Karansky.
Like Councillor Bradley, I was happy and reconciled in my own mind with making a decision today, but if the group wants to defer, then I understand.
Councillor Raven, how do you vote?
For.
Councillor Hall.
For.
Councillor Herrimeyer.
For.
Councillor Bannon. Councillor Stem.
For.
I too was happy to make a decision, but I will be for this deferral.
For.
And I'm a for. So those will be recorded. Okay, so we've moved that. Okay, now I've got late reports. We have no late reports to consider. Petitions. Do any councillors have a petition to present? No petitions. We have no notified motions to consider. I now move to general business. Today we're starting at Division 2. Councillor Lane, you may go.
The heart of Logan City. Well done, Mr Mayor. Okay, so this morning I hit up at Parkdale Park, and I want to say a big thank you to our park staff, in particular Caroline, Danielle and Candy. Parkdale Park is looking amazing. The workers are in there, the trees are getting trimmed, the basketball court's getting laid, new pathways, disability compliance is very much in mind for this park, so it looks absolutely amazing. I want to do a shout out to Get Well to Jimmy Dowling. Jimmy is one of our Neighbourhood Watch people who had a heart attack and lay in his house for 2 days without any assistance because he couldn't actually reach his phone. So Jimmy suffered significant heart damage as a result of that heart attack, and I want to say get well, Jimmy, and I hope to see you walking around the community again soon. The other thing is, Mr Mayor, on the 2nd of September at Compton Park, Logan Metro FC Mini Roos are holding games, including 2 girls-only teams, and I'd love to see the community go along and support those young players. They're absolutely gorgeous in their little outfits running around the soccer field. Given the recent Matildas successes and obviously not into the finals, but it really means something to see those young girls up and about and running around, so thanks very much.
Thank you, Councillor Lane.
Just an apology for before. I said that I was against GB 7.3 in governance. I've spoken to the girls and it was 7.3 GB and lifestyle. So the girls are just going to fix that up. Thank you.
Councillor Murphy.
Thank you. It's absolute great pleasure to stand and be the last person to talk, apart from maybe the Mayor. While I was sitting here, I got exciting news that Division 1 has just received some funding, which I wasn't anticipating. Very exciting to rehabilitate a creek area. That I will be talking about at some stage in the future, but very, very exciting. On Sunday is Springwood Wardrobe Rummage. There's 50 stalls and there's a wait list. So it is hugely popular in Springwood, and I'd like to invite everyone to come along on Sunday to Springwood Wardrobe Rummage. I went along to the Beanley one and gave me the idea maybe that'd be awesome for Springwood, and it is a huge, huge success. So come along on Sunday. Thank you.
Councillor Raven.
Councillor Bradley, where is it and what time?
Thank you, councillors. My little GB is, I was intending to bring up an announcement on whether I was running or not. At the moment, I haven't really made my mind up. I've got 3 options: to retire, to run for council as a councillor or a mayor, but I will not be leaving the city until I've finished my job. So I'm just letting you know. Thank you. At 12:26, thank you. Sorry, 12:06.